Hey guys, a few months back I did a review on a rib nut installation tool, and a company reached out to me and asked if I would be interested in reviewing a tool that they produce that is a rib nut installation tool. So I told them I would. This is a company, I believe the name is ANBULL, ABULL, I believe. I'll put the link down below to this particular tool, but we're gonna open it up, take a look at it, and we're gonna give it a try and see how it works. And I'll put a link up in the top right corner to the original video that I did on using the aviation rib nut installation tool, and we'll see how much easier this one ends up making the job. So it comes in a blow molded case. We got a manual, and it's got a few of their different tools in it. Now you can get different size arbors, I guess you'd call it, and different size rib nuts. So for instance, this one here is a 3/8/16. Comes with 5 3/8/16. This here's an M8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in there. M10, 5 M6s, and what do we got here? 5/16 by 18, 5 of them, and 1/4 20, 5 of them. And like I say, you can order these whatever size you need. So let's go ahead and start by taking the tool itself out. So it is nicely. It does look very nice. I mean, well, one of the first things I always look at on any tool that I get is the quality of the knurling. And this knurling is spot on. That knurling looks really nice. Yeah, here's the name of it. ANBULL. ANBULL, I guess. I guess I left out the N, I think, earlier. I can't remember. But overall, it actually looks like a very nice tool. So they've already, it looks like they've got one. Let's go ahead and take the head off. Now, I don't know anything about how this particular tool works. I've not taken it out of the bag yet. Okay, it does come with a wrench. Oh, that's nice. So whenever you pull the handle here, that's what will unthread it after you're finished with the install. That's a nice feature. I'm curious to see how that works. So I don't know which one I want to do first, but I tell you what, before we get any farther, let's just take a look at what comes in the little containers here. And here's where you're going to have your different arbors. Like this one's for 1/4 20. So this is an M8. I want to put one in that I've got a bolt for. So let me get this. Whichever one of these fits it. It's the one that's in there right now is for the M8, which is why this box is empty. So let me get the M8 out of here. Okay, well, that's nice. Okay. I was having problems getting this out of here. So I was trying to turn this. Of course, it's hooked to this handle so that when you're turning this, the handle turns. So I was trying to hold it here while I had the wrench on it here. And I just wasn't having any luck. Take a look at this. You pull back on the collar. Pull back on the collar, just spring loaded, and then it just threads off. So I do like that. That is very nice design. Okay, so let's go. We're going. I know I got some 1/4-20, so we're going to go with 1/4-20. Got both the pieces here. So to put the pull back on the collar. And there it is. Locks it in. Then, of course, I'm going to screw this on the end of that piece. And this is right there. You get a 1/4-20. Now, obviously, you got to drill the right size hole. So I'll have to look. There's a little chart here for what size hole to use. But while we're here, let's just take a quick measurement here. About 300, roughly 350 thousandths. So I'm going to screw this right on the end here. I'm going to open it up. And I'm going to grab as much of those threads as possible. So now we're ready to squeeze as soon as I get a hole drilled. Now, there is a chart here, depending on what size rib nut you're putting in. This is 1/4-20, so we're going to go to the 1/4-20. And it tells you the thickness of the metal, the minimum and the max thickness, and what size hole that is required, along with other measurements, which, you know, how much protrusion you're going to have after the squeeze is done, and all that. The main thing that you got to know is obviously what size hole you're going to have to drill, so that whenever this is expanded in there, it's locked on tight, so that when you go to tighten up your fastener, you know, you don't want the rib nut to start spinning. So that's why it's important to make sure you got your right size hole and the right thickness metal. Now the metal we're going to use, let's see. Well, first let's take a look. 1/4-20. If I'm looking at that right, it looks like E. Yeah, E, 1/4-20. 0.5 to 3.5. So this particular piece of metal is probably slightly thicker than what is recommended, but that's all I've got, so that's what we're going to go with. So now the next step, 1/4-20, is the diameter of the hole, which looks to me like small d, 9.8 millimeters. So, okay, I got some drill bits over here. But before I went ahead and drilled with it, or before I want to drill, I wanted to just measure the diameter of the actual rib nut itself. And its max, so let me see what the max is here. It looks like about 350 thousandths. And I want that to just fit the hole. So what I found in my drill bit collection, which is 356 thousandths, is a 25/64. So that's what we're going to use. And if that's not quite big enough, then we'll just we'll step it up to whatever we need. Now this is the material. It's just a chunk of aluminum. It's about 150 thousandths thick, which is slightly thicker than what the maximum thickness is calling out here in the book. But we're going to see if this will work. So let's go over here. Let me get a couple holes drilled in this. This thing squeeze in there. So if this hole's big enough, then it is. Okay, and you're going to get to see the all I'm going to do is squeeze the handles. Now, I'm just going to pull back on the handle. That actually threaded it out pretty good. And that is in there really good, it feels like. So let me get a let me find a 1/4-20. We're going to thread it in there. And then we'll do one more so that you can see the actual the operation of me squeezing it and then unthreading it out of there. Let me find a bolt. Okay, let's put us a fastener in here, as though we was needing to fasten a couple pieces of metal together. Now, what these are handy for, if you don't know already, is if you don't have access to the back of you know, a project or you know, the piece of sheet metal that you're putting it through, that's where these really shine. Now, if you can get to the back of it, then you can just put a nut, you know, on it. But once these are put in, you don't have to back it up with a wrench or anything. So I've got the fastener in there. And there it is. Didn't even try to spin. So that's what it looks like. On the back side. That's it on the front side. Very nice, very neat installation. So let me get set up, and I'm going to position the camera so that you can see the actual squeeze of the tool and how it unscrews out of the insert. Okay, so I've got the tool, got it spread apart. I'm going to install the riv nut. Put it in the hole and squeeze. Now, here's where the magic comes in. Watch this. Let me get this. I've never seen one of these tools with this option. So here's the handle. I'm just going to pull out on it. Now, just so you know what that does, excuse me, what that does is it turns the shaft counterclockwise, the arbor counterclockwise. So we've got it installed. Let's see if we did as good of a job this time as the first. Yep. I'd say that thing works like a champ. Now I'm going to show you a close-up of the actual rib nuts. The reason I want to do that is so you understand what's going on here. Hopefully you can see those splines or those ridges. Well, that's what bites in. Not only is it on the sides, but it's also on the flat of the rib nut. So what happens when that squeezes, you know, it pulls it tight and it expands it out. When that happens, it bites into the metal to where whenever you screw your fastener in, the rib nut does not turn. I mean, these come in handy for all kinds of different projects. So there you have it. Okay, again, and that is ANBULL. ANBULL. I'll put a link in the description. So far, I'm very impressed with this tool. One of the things that I always look at is the knurling. And, I mean, I wouldn't say it's perfect, but it is very, very nice. It's very nicely done. If they can get the knurling right, then you can assume that the other parts of the tool should be pretty good, because knurling is a very difficult thing to do and do right. But I tell you the nice thing about this that I really like. Okay. First of all, this is a nice feature. To be able to pull this and unscrew it, that's a big time saver. But the other thing that I like about this is the way this collar works. And I showed that earlier. So this collar, let's see inside there. It's actually a 12-pointed, almost like a socket. So whenever you screw this in by hand, you do not need to use a tool to snug it up. Once you screw it in and that pops up, that locks it to where it won't unscrew. Very nice. That's a very nice design, very nice feature. So anyway, that's about all I've got. Very nice tool. Now this particular one, they've got different models of this, and I'll put a few of them in there. This comes with a M6, M8, M10 mandrel or arbor, whatever they're actually called, and a 3/8 by 16, 5/16 by 18, and a 1/4 by 20. Now this particular tool is their 14-inch, which is this one here, and it says that it'll go up to a M12, which is equivalent to a 1/2 inch. So all you'd have to do is just buy now it goes up to M10, it comes with M10, you just have to buy an M12 and you'd be able to do M12. It goes all the way down to M3. So you'll be able to buy these other arbors also, and obviously be able to buy the rib nuts. Anyway, that's about all I got. Very nice tool. Comes with everything you need to professionally install rib nuts. You guys take care. The one other thing that I'd like to say is that they do have countersunk rib nuts. So, you know, if you can't make it work with the little bit of a raised ridge, whenever you have your rib nut squeezed in there, if you need your material to sit face to face, you can do a countersunk rib nut. And all you have to do there, once you drill your holes, you just countersink the hole, and then that will actually sit in there flush with the metal, so that you can, whenever you bolt your part together, it will, you know, it will be buttered up face to face, material to material. You won't have that little bit of a, you know, raised ridge like you do with a flat-headed rib nut. But I just wanted to point that out, just in case you, you know, was wondering about that. They do make the Countersunk Rib Nuts. Anyway, you guys take care.